controversy, right? A lot of it. Some of the controversy I'm not really understanding. I understand silence sometimes. Never really been what you call good at group activities. That's why I don't usually choose to participate in those. I think what I woke up to today, it was a non-thought. This is wild. I've never seen this before. And I think silence right now is quite dangerous. I think something to this degree of diabolical needs to be known by as many people possible. In and for the reason, if for nothing else, than to protect yourself from. Because I do feel like being quiet about this actually puts more people at risk. I think for the most part we all have a good understanding as to what's going on or what has been going on for quite some time. This live, I'm going to use only me as an example, even though there are other examples. I will only be using me, not to center myself, but because I'm the one choosing to come here and talk about it. Just want to make that clear. I have seen, in the amount of time that I've been on the internet, all kinds of things be weaponized. All kinds of things. Children, family, dead family, trauma. That is a laundry list of what I have seen weaponized by people on this app. But today I saw something that I just don't think I ever in my wildest dreams could have imagined. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to believe it up until this point, but now I have no choice, right? When the proof is literally kicking you in the fucking teeth, you're like, oh, the fuck? The fuck am I gonna let you do this? I am not going to let you do this. Not without letting a host of motherfuckers know. So share this live, share it to whomever, wherever. I don't care if they're on this side of the app. I don't care where they are. I don't care where they come from. Because this isn't just an our community problem. This bitch is let loose on the internet for all kinds of people to have problems with, right? Not just us. We can't be naive enough to think that this is just solely for us. And you know, her reputation goes pretty far on this app. It reaches quite a few corners on this app. She's very well known. Okay, Deja. Hi, Braid. Hi, Queen of Blessings. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Kendra, Donna, Firebird, Ash, Malibu. Brendy, hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, Carrie. Ranger! So, keeping the focus on me, my children have been weaponized by a whole host of people on this app. I'd need probably more than two hands to name them all off. Okay, all kinds of things. All kinds of things. I've watched all kinds of things be weaponized, right? And let's just do a small recap of the behavior by this individual, okay? Because everybody, I pretty much, if you say Ratina, the aspiring cat lady, to a group of people are going to remember her, right? I don't know. You might remember her from, I don't know, starting the GoFundMe for family members of people in her community that died tragically. And she stole the money. That. And then, there was this big thing with Faith gone fishing, and that was a pretty ugly, scenario. There's been more. The victims are also a laundry list. But what I've actually never seen anybody do on this app, let it be Ratina or anybody else, I have never, ever seen a woman, or a person for that fucking matter, that would have the absolute gall to find herself a sex offender. A sex offender to weaponize against bitches on the internet that she doesn't like. Now, imagine that for a moment. You have beef with this girl on the internet. You don't know who she is. You don't know her from Adam. Just a bitch on the internet. But in your mind, you're like, yeah, I hate that bitch so much. I'm going to get this sex offender to terrorize her. And I'm going to let that motherfucker use her kids to do it. A sex offender. Imagine that. Imagine being a woman and a mother, and then having so much angst for somebody that you're like, yeah, this is the ultimate gotcha. This is the ultimate gotcha. I'm going to use this sex offender for internet beef. You can turn the comments off, if you can. Please. So if you see right there, this is Ratina's live. If you see right there that account called Misfit Toys, you cannot make a statement like that and not have receipts. So Ratina hates women on the internet so much that she is giving a sex offender a seat at her table. He's allowed to come to her live. He's allowed to have a voice. She welcomes him as a weapon to use against other women on the internet that she doesn't like. Now, Ratina has weaponized all kinds of stuff on the internet. All kinds of stuff. Just type her name into your search bar, and you'll find all kinds of things that Ratina was involved in on this here app. But Bringing a sex offender to the forefront to fight for you is some of the most diabolical shit I have ever fucking witnessed in my entirety on this app. Who are we talking about? We are talking about Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown, Misfit Toys, and a host of other accounts on this app. Anthony Brown was just live the other night. Goading and laughing and smug and ain't nothing you can do about it. Ha 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 ha. While he puts my children and my grandbabies on his green screen. Ha 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 ha. You can't do nothing. It was some of the sickest shit I have ever seen in life, to be honest. And I am a former corrections officer and have seen the lowest of the low. The lowest of the low. But a sex offender being weaponized against women on the internet while he's using their children to do it is fucking sick. Anybody who is seen around that shit, supporting that shit, clapping for it, excusing it, minimizing it, are trash. You can turn the comments back on. Being quiet while it's being done, to me, is perpetuating it, is allowing it, is broadening the list of victims, not making anything worse, but making it bigger so that people are unaware that this woman is capable of doing these things is in fact the problem. Everybody should know that. Everybody should know about a woman who takes internet beef so seriously that she would weaponize a pedophile, a lifetime register to the sex offender list for doing horrible things to babies. That's your idea of a team member. I'll have him on my team. I'll take that player. Where is the outrage? Who picks a pedophile? It's a question, a good question. Who in the fuck picks a pedophile? Yes. Retina picks a pedophile. Retina says, yes, for this, I will be your friend. If you can do this, absolutely I'll sit with you. Absolutely you can have a seat at my table. You're welcome anytime. You need a voice? Do you have something to say? I'll let you say it. I'll let you say it. But I'll tell you, having your grandbabies and your child up on his green screen while he's gloating and just reveling in the harassment is sick. Could you imagine what that's like as a mother? Can you? Pedophiles are a real fear in life, aren't they? Especially with the current goings on and the things that we know, right? Because we know a lot more today why pedophiles get away with doing the things that they do, right? We know a lot more today. We all know. I've said it 100 times. The reason Jeffrey Epstein became Jeffrey Epstein are because of women like Retina. That's why. Jeffrey Epstein had somebody to make excuses for him. Jeffrey Epstein had people to minimize things for him, to gloss them over, to make them not look so bad. And then what did that do? Just brought thousands and thousands of victims. So if you think that I'm ever going to sit quietly while a pedophile is given a voice and given the ammo and the green light to just harass people with their children, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do it. Because he's here. He's here. Can you imagine the kind of reaction you have when that same pedophile is gloating and laughing and just having the best time with your family, your babies on his green screen? And I'm not supposed to want to come here and just go through every single one of you like a fucking tornado? We're weaponizing sex offenders. We're giving them a seat at our table for internet beef. You guys do know that, like, all the ugly details of the things that Anthony has done are readily available for you on this here app. I think the entire fucking internet should know who the fuck Retina is for this reason. Because these are the kinds of things that are absolutely not off limits to her. Weaponizing sex offenders is on her list. Yeah, Quiet Storm, you must have, because it's fucking ridiculous. Violet wants to talk about her but sympathize with, yes. Listen, am I absolutely shocked at the women on this app that are making excuses, minimizing, and supporting a pedophile? I mean, mind blown. Breezy, I don't think so. Not run with what, Blue? Not run with what? So the list of women is also a laundry list at this point, because you have Scammy Claus, also somebody who he is working on the behalf of, right? Scammy Claus, remember? Scammy Claus, the one that's supposed to come here and bring you awareness against people that could possibly rip you off or yada yada, and swears that she's also against pedophiles. I'm pretty sure Scam Slam does too, but they pal around with his mom. Oh, his mom's here. I forgot to even mention his mom. His mom is here, completely supporting his behavior. And then Scammy Claus and Scam Slam see they're friends with her, and they pal around with her, right? And then they then make excuses for her pedophile son in the community that he is actually terrorizing women using their children. But that's who you go to for quote unquote awareness, right? That's who you all show up for, so that they can make you aware of things that could possibly harm you, right? But now making excuses for pedophiles and their enabling mothers, right? Yes, that's them. The same ones. Because, just the other day, somebody had something to say against the pedophile, and then Scammy made a video about that person responding to the pedophile, not about the pedophile. Scammy Claus didn't make an awareness video about Anthony Brown and the crimes that he's committed against children. Okay? What Scammy Claus thought would be a better awareness moment was take the response of the mother of the children he green screened to point the finger at. Not the pedophile. She's okay with him. But she is absolutely not okay with the mother's response to the pedophile putting the baby's picture up. There's something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with that? Don't you think as an awareness creator, she should be making you aware of the pedophile? That's her job here. But no, not her. She's okay with the pedophile's behavior. But boy, the way that mother reacted when she saw him with her babies on the green screen, that's a problem. We have to make sure everybody knows about that response. Scam Slam absolutely sits with Stop the BS. But does it make you aware of her son? And she's awareness. It's like upside down world. Upside down, backwards world. I'm going to be very active on my Reddit page today. Very active. I think this is awareness, right? What I'm doing right now is in fact fucking awareness. Do you know why? Because there's a woman on the internet that is weaponizing a fucking pedophile for internet beef because she doesn't like people on the internet. She thinks that this is a way to fight. That's awareness. Making you aware that there's an actual human woman out there that picks a pedophile for internet beef. Now that's awareness. Retina, the pedophile in her chat last night, just chatting it up. The pedophile, Anthony Brown. Misfit Toys. He must have 13 fucking accounts at this point. But this is him. That's her friend. That's who she picks to fight bitches on the internet that she doesn't like. And what is it that Anthony does? Well, Anthony gets people on the internet to send him all their information. There's an account here. Contrary Contradictions, right? Kimmy Castellanos is her name that runs that page. Okay. And that girl gave him all of my information as well as where they could find my children. And here's that extra push. Here's where you can find her daughters and her grandbabies. Here, like a silver platter to a pedophile. Here's some pictures of her babies if you want to use them. Here's her Facebook page. You can find all her children and her grandchildren. Yes. Yes, for internet beef. Because I'm going to say this out loud because I can't believe it's real. I don't like somebody on the internet. So I'm going to pal around with a pedophile and make him terrorize them with their babies. What kind of fucking soul do you have to be able to do some fuck shit like that? Why does he still have knees? Fuck if I know. Because Retina is protecting them. That's why. Yes, we've called law enforcement. Yes, we've gone down every avenue. Yes, we've done all of it. Ain't a person, ain't been called, ain't been told that has the authority to do something about it, but they just don't give a fuck. Right? They just don't give a fuck. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to do any of that fuck shit. But what I'm telling you is there's not going to be a day I'm going to stay quiet when the bitch on the internet is picking one to fight her battles. Never a day. Never a day. Again, Retina. This is her idea of internet beef. So take the information, spread it far and wide across the internet, post her picture, post his picture, call them Goombas, do what you need to do. Make sure everybody fucking knows that this is the woman on the internet that uses a pedophile for internet beef. Could never be a lot of us. Now, I really couldn't tell you what I'd do if this woman was a friend of mine. I really couldn't tell you what I'd do. I know I'd never leave my fucking kids alone with her. That's for goddamn sure. I don't know, Jennifer. I really don't. Raid. Yes, Heather. She does have a child of her own. There are many clips that you could find that will show you Ratina making excuses for the pedophile, minimizing his crimes, glossing it over. We'll take that out of it. I think she actually said those words. We'll take the pedophilia out of it, as if that's an option. Well, that aside, the pedophilia aside, how do you put pedophilia aside? How do you just quit considering pedophilia? How is that just not to be considered? You can block pasta. We don't have to talk. That's what I want to know. And peculiar. Hey, I always watch who's surrounding that person. How many people find this acceptable, right? That this wouldn't be something that would draw that hard red line. Like, bitch, I kind of like you, but this, can't do it. You know what I mean? I get it, like you like somebody, they're your friend, but there is something, this thing, that would draw that hard red line and be like, no, bitch, can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be caught dead sitting around you. Ever. Ever. So I'll be paying very close attention to that. I will be paying very close attention to who is surrounding this woman while she does this, while she accepts this, and while she perpetuates this onto other fucking people. Innocent children. Innocent children that don't have a fuck thing to do with any of it. That's your awareness for today. Not only, and please, if you walk away with nothing else, walk away with this. It's not only the pedophiles that you need to fear here. Do you understand? It is not just the pedophile themselves that you need to be aware of. You need to be aware of who makes it possible for the pedophiles. Because behind every pedophile is an enabler. Behind every pedophile is an excuse maker, a minimizer, a supporter, and a sympathizer. If you sympathize with pedophilic behavior, please do not ever enter my fucking space. Robin, really quickly for Robin who is inquiring, this Robin is Retina, aspiring cat lady. All the names that she's ever used here, Retina being the main one. This is Retina. Retina is a pedophile sympathizer. Retina is a pedophile weaponizer. So what Retina has is some beef with bitches on the internet, and she thought it would be a good idea to weaponize a pedophile against them so that he could use their family, their children, and their babies against them. She allows him in her space. She conversates with him. She gives him a seat at her table. She brings him into the circle so she can weaponize him against the bitches on the internet she doesn't like. You see, he has all of their information, their babies, their grandbabies, everything he needs to harass and terrorize them on the internet. And Retina is the one supporting those actions. Retina is perpetuating pedophilic behavior. That's why we're here, Robin. Maybe I'll make some videos. I don't know. I'm not much of a video maker, but baby, I might just become one. You're exactly right, Samsy. She absolutely does belong on a registry. You are absolutely right. Because if you could ever consider a child safe in her presence, I would then question you. In fact, I'll be questioning everybody that holds a space with her from this point forward. I mean, so if you want to hang out with Retina, I'd fire you up a quickie troll account. Because the next thing you'll find yourself is on a pedophile sympathizer list. And we'd hate for that to happen. Moving forward, I'm going to be attacking this on every level. You know why? Because he has my baby's information. It's being used against me. And I'm never going to be quiet about it. I'm just not. And I'm not even going to apologize for that, because I don't feel like an apology is warranted. I think A, my feelings are very valid. B, my voice is important, because I will not stay silent while this kind of shit goes on. Not for one fucking second. I have been involved in enough internet beef in here to know, like, people do at some point have boundaries, and god damn it, that boundary should be set at pedophilia. And until he puts your babies on that green screen, I don't want to hear a fuck thing. Until he is using your children to harass you, I don't want to hear a fuck thing. I will never, ever be quiet about this. And you guys shouldn't be either. Nobody should. Everybody should be talking about it. Everybody should be making people aware. I don't want to see any of this happen to anyone else at all, ever. Be careful where you get your awareness from. The people that are okay with him should be treated like they have the plague, absolutely. And if you guys can't put this into a perspective and see a bigger picture here, that's unfortunate. Because this behavior is so deeply embedded in our society, it's nauseating. Do you understand? That we have people in power, people in great power, that exercise pedophilic behavior, and people have excused it. That's how we got here. By excusing it, by glossing over it, by saying, oh, that didn't happen. They're lying. They're not victims. They're looking for money. This is how this shit happens. This is how babies are violated every single day. Because we don't believe it. We minimize it. What are we doing? There is not a child in this world that is safe if this is how we are moving forward. Hi, Nikki. There is a much bigger picture here. In power are trafficking the immigrants that are being snatched off your streets.
It's a really big problem. Like, people just kind of turn their head to it, but like, rich people fly to other countries where people are really poor
Yes.
and pay a little bit of money and do awful
Yes.
things.
and do awful, awful things. That that's kind of what is fueling my anger is right. This part, right, is specific to what's going on here. But what's going on here is exactly what perpetuates what goes on as a whole.
Does anybody remember, and I can never pronounce her name right, Gillian Maxwell, right?
Ghislaine, yeah.
Ghislaine. Okay. She never touched those girls. Never.
Mm-mm.
But do you know how she got them?
Mm-hmm.
She propositioned them for modeling, for working, making a huge career, and that's how they were circled into that.
By lying and manipulating and making something that is a monster look like wealth and popularity and
Mm-hmm.
everything that they want, they're promising, and he's this amazing man, and he cares about you, and he wants to see you succeed, and all you have to do is you know
And she did it, in my belief, this isn't fact, but I think she did it because I think she thought that somehow he would marry her. The problem with that is she was too old for him.
period.
So the women who will bend over backwards for the pedos, thinking that, oh, maybe I can win him over, sweetheart, you're too old for him.
Mm.
Why do you
You're
think
already out
that?
of middle school.
Why do you think in the U.S. she's the only person that's been prosecuted? What about
Why?
everybody that
Why do you
actually
think?
did the
Why do you think
crimes?
Yep.
they moved her to a minimum security prison and bought her a puppy? She got a
You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like
puppy.
other countries have taught have like other countries have taken high-ranking people and prosecuted them. The U.S. is the only one that hasn't prosecuted anyone.
No, and they have actually talked about a pardon for Maxwell as well.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know, pause. I don't want to say that. I'm just saying to anyone out there, if you think that you're going to be able to win him over, you're out of middle school. You're too old for him. I'm sorry. And listen, I heard something last night of like, oh, that doesn't always mean they're going to reoffend. Listen, here's the thing. Like, there is something mentally wrong with these people. You're not in college and you're not exploring your
So yeah,
sexuality. Like there is something physically and mentally fucking wrong with these people to even do it in the first place. This isn't a fucking experiment. It's fucking gross. They can't be rehabbed. And I think they should have concrete shoes in the middle of the ocean. But oh well.
period.
For every pimp and trafficker, there is this kind of woman bringing women to them. I recently heard a woman still speaking out against E. Jean Carroll, saying
Mm-hmm.
she wanted it. She allowed him to come into the dressing room with her, and then when things got a little bit too aggressive, she screamed grape.
Yep. She just got a big payday too.
A big payday, and people are still discrediting her because it wasn't a criminal, like he wasn't criminally prosecuted.
Right.
Well, in a court of civil law, it's a preponderance of evidence, more likely than not, that the fucking shit happened.
Right. It's I've had physical reactions to a lot of what's gone on in the past couple days, but realizing that she doesn't even like you're not even hiding it anymore. You're allowing him in the spaces, you're giving him a voice, you're palling around with him. Like, I think that, like, this, I kind of think we already knew that, but having actual proof, like, of him just being in the space and you being okay with him using babies against women. Like, you're a woman and a mother. You're a woman and a mother.
And my thing is, like, if she can make such a bold statement about me as to say during my time as a social worker, she fears that I may have hurt little white children, then I think it's maybe safe to say her empathy doesn't come from a place of, oh, well, I was also in prison and people are still talking about things that I did. I think it comes from a place of being predatorily exploitative to people on this app with no consequences.
Right.
And that is what is relatable
Yes.
for her.
Yes. Or,
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum. Gifalik Habibi.
Alhamdulillah, good.
Good. So I think for me, the mind frame of a person that can look past the evidence, the crime, and still be able to accept that kind of evil to be around you is where I'm struggling horribly with that. And I think that's kind of what got me today was this is a woman. This is a woman who has a child, and you can still, because you don't like somebody that much, be able to bring that kind of thing into your circle. Because not only are you putting, like, you're so many things are at risk here, but literally the people that sit around you, you're putting people, your friends, also at risk. Because I don't know if you've played the video the whole way through, but at some point when he decides he doesn't like you anymore, or you didn't fall into line with what he was doing, and then he turns this behavior around on you and your friends, what are you going to do then?
I mean, that's a really good question.
I mean, I guess I look at it like, let's say someone attacked your child. Someone, let's say your child was the victim. That's like saying, I don't want to press charges. I don't want anyone to know about this. I'm going to keep it a
Yes.
secret.
Yes.
So you're not protecting anyone. It being brought out and being public and saying, hey, look, this dirty, grimy motherfucker is on this app running around doing this. This are his fucking charges. It's trying to protect the children, which I can hate you to the moon and back. At the end of the day, I would absolutely defend your children.
Every time.
Absolutely, because our children are our future. And if we're not protecting them at every chance, we're fucking doomed worse than we already fucking are.
Yes. We really are, though. And that's the thing, that, like, that's what's scary to me. That is what is scary to me. Like, I can't. Because I paid attention to those, the Epstein files. I paid close attention until I couldn't anymore. And with that kind of thing in my head, like, what are we doing? What is going on? And why isn't everybody screaming, what is going on?
We're underreacting.
We
are
are
underreacting
underreacting.
because we have gotten so used to a corrupt ass fucking world. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm really glad I'm in my ending phase of my time in the sun. Like, I just want to live out my century in peace too, but I will always speak out against wrongdoing in hopes that my grown child will have a better future. And if she ever decides to have children, that they also will.
I
Because
don't
I
know.
totally get the women that are choosing not to bring life into this fucked up world.
I support every woman that doesn't.
Every
I
one
do.
of them.
I support every woman that doesn't. In fact, I said about a year ago, we should all collectively just stop doing those things. Stop
Exactly. I've been said
reproducing.
that.
Stop going to work. Stop doing the dishes. Stop doing the laundry. Stop everything until they stop this.
Right. And let's leave men alone because they're definitely at the root of all evil in the world.
Period. That is my bigger picture. That is absolutely my bigger picture. This is one little, that this is going on here, but this perpetuates such a bigger scaled danger.
Absolutely. And it's not new. It's more out in the open and loud. ICE has been doing this to women for years. Trafficking them, sterilizing them.
Yes, with a card with a get out of free jail card too.
Yeah, now they're just doing it way out in the open. Before they would do it in secret little towns where only they knew. Now, like you said, they have a get out of like no trouble. Like, have you ever seen the movie
when
The
it comes
Sound of
to
Freedom? Have you ever seen that movie, The Sound of Freedom? That shit is a hard watch, bro. I could only watch it once.
all right, I gotta go. Here's the thing. I felt that when the Epstein files came out and they were so readily available and, people had the information, right, that they needed, that we weren't all just flooding the streets. And when I say stop going to work, when I say stop doing the dishes, when I say stop doing the laundry, I mean it. I mean it. If it was going to happen, it should have happened when we all were armed with that information. And when it didn't happen, it made me ill. And now here we are, right? In our own little side of TikTok. And the picture is so clear by this behavior. It is so clear by this behavior, and it shines a very bright light on the bigger picture, and that's really what I want people to pay attention to. That this is here right now and it's happening and you can see it, but it is perpetuating a much bigger danger. All right. Speaking of children,
Absolutely, I agree. Go enjoy your day with your grandbaby and try to, de-escalate. Cause this shit is real and it's raw and it's a lot.
it
It's
is.
heavy.
It's very fucking heavy.
I
Very
appreciate
fucking
you,
heavy.
Pam.
All right, Cartel, I thank you too. Thank you, Ranger. Thank you, Chevy.
Wait, can I just show you something really quick? And this is sorry, this is just me trying to make you have a little giggle. That's all. I'm not diminishing how serious this stuff is. Okay.
Yeah, I never think that. Jesus Christ. Leaving this live because my mom won't let me play with the bunnies.
Okay.
I can't
There.
do it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys.